What's going on, moviegoers? If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. Welcome to Zero Productions. Is it time for the rebirth, you guys? We have to have this honest discussion with DC, you guys. I am concerned. Warner Brothers right now does not have the trust with its fandom. And it tells you everything you need to know with where the studio is headed. And if I'm James Gunn, I am a little bit nervous. Now, granted, James Gunn is starting this whole rebirth with his brand new set and his brand new fresh characters that he's going to be introducing with Commando starting out in December of this year and Superman releasing in July of 2025, you guys. So James Gunn kind of has a target on his back. He is now in the rebranding phase. I say rebranding because he has to rebrand this entire universe into a more positive and better light. Because as of right now, you guys, there is no trust. Joker 2's box office opening weekend was less domestically than Morbius. Let that sink in. Morbius, you guys. It is wild to me to think that, the first film crossing $1 billion at the box office, winning all kinds of Academy Awards, and having the sequel take a massive, massive turn, you guys. It's insane. Now, granted, I understand Joker came out 2019, 2018? That was a different time. That was before the pandemic. Life was different. The movie theater experience was different. The cost of living was different. People aren't going out to the theaters as often. And when you have a film that's bad word of mouth, people are going to be like, blah, 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 blah. I'll wait till it's on Max and save me some money. People are very, very concerned with their budgeting and their spending. Rightfully so. Life is extremely hard right now, so I understand it. So, the trust building with the DC fans is wildly, wildly in shambles right now, you guys. It's bad. It's terrible. You still have, I feel like there's still a small fandom that's excited for James Gunn and what he has in store for his universe, but there is still a lot of concern. I mean, just dating back, you guys, look at the most recent DC projects. We'll go over them. So, Joker opening weekend made $114 million opening weekend worldwide. Aquaman 2 made $439. Keep in mind, Aquaman 1 crossed $1 billion at the box office. But like I said, Aquaman was, in 2018? A wild different time. Blue Beetle made $130 million, which is going to be a direct tie-in to James Gunn's DC universe. Blue Beetle, I thought, was a great film. It was a cool introduction to a character I didn't know, but there was no trust. There was no interest in that film. That's why Blue Beetle didn't do well. The Flash, you guys, which I projected that was going to make $1 billion because you were now incorporating Michael Keaton's Batman, one of the most beloved Batman of all time, into your film. That only made $271 million. And keep this in mind, James Gunn said that was one of the greatest comic book films ever made. I mean, I don't know if you were clout chasing. Why would you even say that? After watching that movie, you guys, I was like, there's no way in hell he can actually back those words. Shazam 2, you guys, made $134 million. And Black Adam made $393 million, you guys. Not the greatest run at their box office, you guys. It's absolutely terrible. And then you have Matt Reeves in his Batman universe. The Batman made $772 million. I personally thought the Batman was going to make more than that because Batman has a massive fandom. But it was well received critically and amongst the fans. The Penguin, you guys, right now on Max, releasing every Sunday. We just had episode 3, has been an absolute banger. So critically, you guys, the Batman is doing great. The universe, everybody is loving it right now. And I hope to see more of it. So I'm not worried about what Matt Reeves is cooking right now. And then you have, James Gunn. James Gunn did the Suicide Squad. That made $168 million. That was the whole day and date stuff, you know what I mean? Because we were still very much in the pandemic, so I understand why it didn't make that much money. And then, that versus the Suicide Squad, the first film, that almost made $800 million. But like I said, a very different time. And that was still like the building phase of, of Zack Snyder's DC world. You think about that. That was Man of Steel, BVS, Wonder Woman, and then Suicide Squad came out. It was still very fresh. And you were introducing Harley I'll never forget, Halloween that year, you guys. It was absolutely crazy. The Harley love was insane. And then you have, and on HBO Max, you have Peacemaker Season 1, which, was well received, critically and amongst fans. It was 93% on Rotten Tomatoes among critics and 89% on, among the fandom. So there is still hope for what James Gunn is doing. There is hope. His projects have been well received critically, you guys. And I'll be honest with you, I do believe that there are, there is a fandom out there yearning and wanting more for what James Gunn is cooking for. I mean, look, we have Superman coming out next year. That is going to be pivotal. That is going to be extremely important moving forward. Superman starts it all. So if Superman fails and if Superman bombs, we should be worried. But Rob Liefeld, you guys, apparently said that, he's hearing stuff about Superman and it's absolutely wonderful. So I'm like, oh, how exciting. I'm such a massive Superman fan, you guys. I'm really hoping it does well. But you even look at Superman's box office, you guys. The original 1978 Superman film made $300 million. Man of Steel made $670 million. Superman Returns made $391 million. Superman 2, $216 million. So Superman isn't really known for having a massive box office success, you guys. But I feel like with rebranding Superman, which I feel like is an extremely important move for James Gunn, there has to be that hope behind him. I'm not saying that Zack Snyder's Superman didn't have that much hope, but it was a much darker, grittier Superman. Not the Superman we're too particularly, familiar with from reading the comic book runs or even watching the show Superman and Lois, Smallville, all iterations of Superman. There was still that bright and hopefulness. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what James Gunn does with Superman and how it will affect everything moving forward. Because like I said, with Creature Commandos coming out in December, you guys, I don't necessarily think Creature Commandos is going to be the start of it. It's an animated series, and yes, he said that voice actors will play, their same roles in live action, but it's, I'm not overly excited about Creature Commandos. It's an animated series. I'm hoping for the best, honestly. I wasn't excited about the Penguin. I watched all the trailers. I was like, whatever. And I think the Penguin is one of the best shows, if not the best show of the year. So we'll see what happens with Creature Commandos. But I do think with, Superman, it is probably one of the most important films in comic book history moving forward. And I say that because it's rebranding and rebuilding and retooling a world that's lost all kind of faith and hope between its fandom. So we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think about this whole DC rebranding, retooling, rebirthing? And do you think that, these fans have lost all kind of faith and, with Warner Brothers controlling, these beloved comic book characters? Honestly, I want to know you guys' thoughts and opinions on this. Let me know what you guys think about the recent box office struggles that DC has had. I'm not saying Marvel hasn't had any box office struggles, but, Marvel is kind of going through it too. Deadpool and Wolverine is now the highest grossing R-rated film of all time, you guys. It's made a lot of money at the box office. It's even killing it right now, VOD right now. So it's definitely progressing. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you guys, of course, for watching C-Roll Productions. Peace.